Now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Dr. Seidel, I'm worried about the mixed demand signals that we send to industry with constant fluctuation in our 30-year shipbuilding plans. How can we send clear demand signals to industry so that they are able to invest in their own workforce and technical capacity? And also, a separate question, how is the Department of the Navy working on GAO's recommendations as well as improving the culture of procurement?
Thank you, Chairman Kelly. I appreciate the question, and thanks for the time last week, too. I've had a chance to get down to your neck of the woods and visit with Ingalls and see what they're doing in that arena. And I think it gets to the first question that is around how do we ensure that we keep a constant flow of product through our shipyards. I do think it's critical, and it's not lost on me that that organization has the DDGs and the amphibs. We've done some multi-ship procurements to make sure that they are staying fed well. And as a result, there's consistency in approach, and I think certainly in the amphibs, it's one of the success stories that we have where ships are being delivered on time and on budget. So it strikes us to think about how we handle that holistically for the rest of our shipbuilders to make sure that that's happening writ large. I think a part of it is being a little more directive in that workload. I think we do understand which yards can do which work, which platforms are best suited for that, and we need to be thoughtful in doing that to keep the whole enterprise fed well so that they can manage their workforce, their hiring, and retention issues. So my commitment to you is to work with our partners back in the Pentagon to make sure we try to do that well for you. To your point about GAO recommendations, I've had conversations with Ms. Oakley before. I agree with much of what she has said. I think there's real opportunity space there. And quite frankly, I think sometimes we spend a lot of our time communicating via reports back and forth to each other as opposed to working closely together to get after it. And so my commitment to her and her team is that we'll lean into that and get after some of those recommendations because quite frankly, they resonate with me on a lot of different fronts.
And just, I want to know, we're the greatest maritime nation in the history of the world. And we are still that, and there's no reason we can't continue to be that. But it takes doing things not the same old way, but it takes taking a hard look at ourselves and getting better. Ms. Oakley, the GAO has identified several opportunities for the Navy to modernize its practices to support timely and predictable outcomes for the Constellation-class frigate and other future programs. Which of your recommendations relating to design and procurement remain outstanding?
We have several recommendations, both specifically directed at the frigate program and then also about the broader design approach that the Navy uses that remain open. Specifically with regard to the frigate, we recommended that they take a look at developing the basic and functional design of the ship before beginning construction, at least of the second ship, since the first ship is already underway. That remains open, and we know that the Navy and the builder are doing significant work now to really mature that design. And it's that key that commercial shipbuilders follow in maturing that design so that they know when they start bending metal, they start construction, that they're going to get what they expect to get when they are going to get it. And so those are really some of the key recommendations that we've made to frigate, but also writ large with regard to their design performance. The other thing that I would mention is really leveraging technology to be able to exercise the design earlier on to understand the implication of changes, specs, requirements that creep, and what those implications could be on the design of the ship, so that that's all worked out before you begin construction of the ship and then are in the business of doing rework and having to fix things that you realize can't work.
Thank you. And as noted, I'm yielding back my time, and I will hold everyone. I will adhere to the 5-minute rule today.